Hi everyone, welcome to Just a Wrestling Fan. I'm Drew, also known as Stuttering Drew. I do have a speech impediment. If you see me looking down, that I'm looking at my notes. Raw is 3 hours long. It's very hard to get through, very hard to remember everything. Especially like a lot of people have a short-term memory issues, especially Raw is like making it long-term. But um, but before I get started, um, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. Now let's get started on Raw Monday, June 24th. The show opened with Seth Rollins walking to the ring. He started to talk about his victory against Baron Corbin before he was then interrupted by his real life girlfriend, Becky Lynch, who walked to the ring, and the Lovebirds cut a promo on Corbin and Lacey Evans. Corbin music hits and distracts the couple for Lacey to attack Becky from behind. As Lacey and Becky brawl, Corbin ran to the ring as he and Seth began to fight. But the Lovebirds would gain the upper hand. Lacey and Corbin then cut a promo on the couple. Baron Corbin told Rollins to go home, put on an apron, and make the man a sandwich because the man handles everything, all of Rollins' business. Now that was an awesome line. I think that was funny. I was dying with laugh. That was a very awesome part of the promo. A little tired in seeing the Corbin and Rollins and Lacey and Becky, but I actually enjoy that promo, even though it's like every week the show starts with a promo. Maybe they should switch it up once and start with a match, open the show with a match. But this is just me as a fan. I'm not Vince McMahon or the writers writing scripts for professional wrestlers who should know how to wrestle and do promos. So let me continue. At the end of the day, we end up with a match between Corbin and Lacey versus Seth and Becky. Winner takes all at Extreme Rules. There we go. Another Corbin and Rollins, Lacey and Becky. Pretty much tired of that. But at least the stipulations is if the Lovebirds win, Lacey and Corbin cannot challenge for the titles ever as long as they hold it. And basically, if Corbin and Lacey wins, they take all the gold. We got our first match, which was Daniel Bryan with Ronan and the Revival versus New Day and the Usos. Xavier Woods pins Bryan, which eliminated Bryan and Ronan. Wheeler of the Revival pinned Woods and eliminated the New Day. The Usos won the match in the end. I don't really know what to say about this match. I don't know why they would make the tag champ get pinned, but I really wasn't into this match like I should have been. But I got to say, in the beginning parts of it, I did like when it was just the Usos and the Revival. But then again, to me, it seems like they're trying to bury the Revival because they're refusing to sign a new contract and they've asked for the release. And it seems like everything I've been seeing over the last couple of months since the story broke, it seems like they're trying to bury them, having them do shenanigans, and now they tag champs and they're losing. So that's kind of hard to understand on my point of view. Now we got Miss TV with guest R-Truth. And of course, he had Carmella with him. Miz informed R-Truth that the 24/7 title rules was suspended until the end of the interview. Miz highlighted all the crazy ways R-Truth won the title, but he said the craziest one was the one he showed on the Titantron, which was R-Truth pinning Drake Maverick at his wedding. I myself particularly, I'm not a fan of this 24 title. Isn't I think it's supposed to be like the hardcore title back in the day, but I think they did a better job of it back in the day, when especially when they had when they had those hardcore matches. Um, it seems to me they're taking the funny side of it right now. Seems they're making it more funny than anything else. Um, and I guess they R-Truth is doing the best he can with this whole 24/7 title. That I don't like the way the title looks. I really don't like the whole thing around it. There's people that do. I personally don't. But that is, I guess, we're forced to watch this nonsense. But then Drake Maverick comes out and interrupt them and talk about how something about he hasn't been able to eat or sleep. He hasn't even consummated his marriage since losing the title at his wedding and stuff like that. So the Miz informed R-Truth that him and Drake can have a match. That the 24/7 rule was suspended until the end of the match, which was a very short match. R-Truth hit his move, I forgot the name of it, and get the pin. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, or even if that. He retained his belt. Then came the other superstars running to the ring. He avoided them. They started fighting amongst themselves, where him and Carmella escaped. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a fan of this whole 24/7 title. We then get Drew McIntyre and Shane versus Roman Reigns on a 2-on-1 no tag match. No tag. You have to fight two men at the same time. Reigns fight two men at the same time. Okay. Shane and his shenanigans. I still don't know why they're pushing Shane, the Vince McMahon's son. I'm not really sure why this is going on. Shane and Drew that dominated the match. Of course, it's 2-on-1. That explains everything. Shane went for the coast to coast as Drew held Reigns from the outside by his arms, pulled him back. Then an unsuspected Undertaker returned, chokeslam Shane. Give Drew the big boot as he came back into the ring. Then he would clothesline both men to the outside, and all of that to end the segment. Now, that was okay. I'm tired of the Shane and Roman thing. I'm tired of the Drew McIntyre and Roman thing. How many times must Roman beat him in the last couple of months? I don't really like how they're portraying Drew right now. I think he was utilized better in TNA or Impact, where it's called now. I do think he was utilized better. Especially his name over there was Drew Galloway. And he still had the Claiborne kick and everything, but I think his storyline was better there than this Roman Reigns and leaning on I don't know what to call it, but I'm not really liking how he's being utilized right now. But he's a very good performer, and he was good on the mic in TNA. I guess he had more freedom there, even though there's some reports saying he said the promos he's doing is his. Well, if that is yours, something is wrong right now, because his promos was better in the other company. I think then he went to NXT before he came back, and I never saw him there, so I can't comment on his promos over in NXT. But I don't think he's being utilized good. I was actually wanting to see him become a champion. I thought they was going to push him as a champion the same way, but I don't know what's happening right now. I guess they feel Vince doesn't think he's the man for that yet. So now, moving on to what I call the worst part of the show is Bobby Lashley and Strowman in a tug of war match. I don't know what to say about this. I thought that this was a wrestling show, yet we're getting tug of war. Um, Never thought that I'd be watching wrestling and seeing tug of war. The hand wrestling thing, I give that a pass. It's still wrestling, but you went on to tug of war. I really didn't like this segment. Of course, Strowman won, and Bobby attacked him again, like he did with the hand wrestling. Um, uh, I just want to forget about that even happening on a wrestling show. I don't even know. I can't wait for AEW's weekly team TV show to start, because this I'm not sure I'll be even watching WWE anymore. I'm not even sure. So let me move on. Viking Raiders versus Gallows and Anderson, out to prove that they still have it, like they did in Japan to AJ Styles. Of course, the Viking Raiders won. I feel like they're trying to bury Gallows and Anderson. They're not a tag team that is turning down contracts to resign. It's suspected that they might go to AEW with their friends, the Young Bucks. So we move on from that. We then get Heath Slater versus Mojo Rawley. The match was interrupted when R-Truth was running away from the other talents, and he ran into the ring. Heath Slater pinned him and became the new 24/7 champion. There were a lot of quick pins in here. It didn't last very long, as R-Truth was able to was able to pin Heath Slater and regain his championship, his 24/7 title. And he became the 8-time 24/7 champion since this thing began, short-lived. But that was short-lived, because he was soon pinned by Cedric Alexander, who then became 24/7 champion, and then he was pinned by EC3, who became the new 24/7 champion. Then he was distracted by Carmella when she grabbed the belt. He was walking towards her when R-Truth came up from behind, rolled him up, pinned him, became the new 9-time 24/7 champion. And him and Carmella ran off into the sunset. And that was basically it on that part of it. I don't know what to I already said how I feel about this 24/7 championship. We now got an impromptu Kevin and Sami show when Kofi was in the ring throwing his trademark pancakes. So they had the impromptu interview with him, where they basically cut promos and go back and forward. I was basically tired of seeing that. Then I believe Kofi and Sami had a match. I'm not sure if it was a title match or not. I don't believe it was. But of course, Kofi won. Then Kevin got on the mic and challenged him. If you're so great as you say you are, prove to me that you're great and fight me right now. And he went and he beat him too. He beat Kim Kevin too. Um, then after that, he was attacked by Samoan Joe from behind, and he was choked out on the ramp. Now that was I actually enjoyed that part of it. That was smart. Uh, I think that was a great move. I'm tired of seeing the same old Sammy and Kevin and Dolph Ziggler. We have a new person in it, Samoan Joe, and I think that will actually be great. I've been following Samoan Joe since TNA days. He's great on the mic, and he's a great act. He's a hard worker. I've seen that. One of the best matches I've ever seen was him and Kurt Angle in that Octagon MMA type match. That was an awesome match. That's the most memorable match I think he had in TNA. And I think he should have been a world champion by now. But, I thought it was going to head there, but it never happened. But let's see what happens now. I kind of think he's being underutilized because he performs on a championship level. Next up, we got Naomi versus Alexa Bliss, accompanied by Nikki Cross. Alexa Bliss won with a spike DDT. As she planted her with the DDT as Naomi was getting back into the ring after she inadvertently give Nikki Cross the baseball slide. So as she's entering through the ropes, Alexa Bliss spiked her with the DDT and picked up the win. But Alexa Bliss was not happy with just that. She then attacked her, and out came Natalya for the save. And we then got a tag team match. Naomi and Natalya versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And of course, Alexa Bliss won again. She got the pin again. She basically was most of the time outside the ring. She capitalized after Nikki Cross got the neck breaker on Natalya, and she just went in and took the pin because she was the legal person in the match. Next up, we got the main event, and I did skip a couple promos that I didn't feel was that important. So next up we got AJ Styles versus Ricochet. As the match started, Anderson and Gallows went to ringside and tried to interfere, but was told by AJ Styles. He asked him to leave and said he wouldn't continue the match until they went to the back. Anderson and Gallows left reluctantly. The match continued. The match started off slow with each man being doing the technical style of wrestling, but it soon picked up. AJ Styles got busted open. I didn't really see how that happened, and even the announcers said that they didn't see when the contact happened to bust AJ Styles open. I'm not sure where it happened, if it was his nose or between the eyes, but he did have blood there. It was a highly athletic match, which I think put both men over. And I'm a long-time AJ Styles fan. I mean, let me say long time from when he was in. I started to see him in Impact in TNA, and when he left and he went to Japan, I didn't get much of him in Japan, but I did see the stuff in ROH when he came over with the Young Bucks when he was part of the Bullet Club. Well, I'm the leader. After several back and forward, after several near falls, AJ Styles won when he avoided the 630 and gave Ricochet the phenomenal forearm to secure the win, and at the end of the match, the two men showed their respects and embraced, which I thought was good. I thought that was a good showing for AJ Styles, even though I kind of didn't like the fact that, less than 24 hours ago, Ricochet won the belt from Samoa Joe, won the United States champion from Samoa Joe, and he's already been pinned. I'm not sure if that's kind of really it's putting him over. I thought he should have went on a little bit more, couple defense before he get pinned, even if it was a non-title match. But I guess that was to put AJ Styles over. But I still believe both men look good coming out of that match, more so AJ Styles than Ricochet. But that's my thoughts on it. Once again, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever one you choose, and a comment. And you can also hit that notification bell so you can get the new my new releases as they come in. Until next time, I'm Drew. This is Just a Wrestling Fan.